A budget device that comes with a solid promise that it won't lag for 36 months, which is about 3 years, and at the same time promises to be an even better device at its current price range. Well, let's find out. The Itel A80 is a budget device with some interesting attributes, with its price starting at just 107,000 naira for the 3GB RAM version and 117,000 naira for the 4GB RAM version, which in the world of smartphones right now is cheap, being that is under $100. Unboxing this device, we still get all the accessories that we would normally not get from other more expensive devices, like a charging brick and a Type-C cable. A rubber case to protect your device from scratches and some fall damage. You get the device, of course, and even wired earphones for music. These are things we don't see anymore. Most manufacturers would just assume we have all these things at home and not include them in the box, but Itel thinks otherwise. There are times when Itel also try to play like the big boys, like on the S23 Plus they launched last year. It was just the phone in the box, which was a shocker for many, but it seems like they took feedback and they didn't do any of that this year. I know some of you want to see if you can play games on the Itel A80 or take nice pictures on this device. Just relax, we'll get to that, or you can use the timestamps here on YouTube to find exactly what you're looking for. Now would also be a good time to hit that subscribe button. The design of this device doesn't look or feel cheap. It has a glossy matte finish which doesn't pick up any fingerprints and allows your device to stay looking fresh always. The back looks like it's glass, but it's plastic because it's just shiny. At the bottom of the device we get a down-firing speaker, a Type-C port, and an earphone jack port. On the right side we get the volume up and down buttons alongside the power button. On the left side, we have just a dual 4G nano SIM tray with an SD card slot, meaning you can expand the memory of this device up to 2 terabytes. This device comes in 3 colors: glacier white, wave blue, and sandstone black. What I have here is the sandstone black. The design of the camera on the back is quite large, but if I may add, I think that ties well with the bold design of the Itel A80. The main camera is a 50 megapixel camera, while the second camera, I really can't tell what it is, and I honestly feel it doesn't do anything. It was just added for design purposes. We also have a ring light which doubles as a flashlight for both the camera and to use in the dark. The front camera is an 8 megapixel camera which also comes with a front-facing flashlight which doubles as a charging indicator. The A80 shines in the camera department under the right lighting conditions, just like the examples you see on screen, and I must say, low light is not its strongest suit. I would also like to mention that you need stable hands for the 50 megapixel camera, which you need to toggle on anytime you want to take a 50 megapixel photo. For the selfie camera, here are some examples. Moving on to the specs of this device, it comes in 2 versions, one with 3 gigs of RAM and the other with 4 gigs of RAM. But with the 4 gigs of RAM, you can expand it to 8 gigs of RAM, which is why I would personally advise that you go for the 4 gig RAM version. Both RAM versions come with a big 128 gigs of internal storage, which is also expandable with an external SD card up to 2 terabytes, which is more than you will need on a smartphone. The Itel A80 comes with a 6.7-inch 720p display, which supports up to 120Hz refresh rate, which you won't get on most devices under $100, but in the display settings, you will only be able to get an option for 90Hz. On this display, you also get an integrated dynamic bar, which would give you very basic notifications like your battery status, calling, and unlocking your device. The max brightness for this display is 500 nits, which is okay for even outdoor usage, maybe when the sun is not too hot. One full charge will last you 3 days is what Itel is saying for the 5000 mAh battery that this device comes with. During my test, this phone was up and running here in my studio right out of the box with no charge for almost a week as it sat idle, which I believe further solidified Itel's claims. The 5000 mAh battery should be able to take you through a full day on your regular usage, but when it comes to gaming, this would be a whole different case, as the battery would only go a few hours. I must mention that charging this device with its big battery takes a long time because this device doesn't support fast charging. The Itel A80 comes with a newer Android version, which is Android 14, and also the Itel OS 14, which you would receive updates from time to time on the Itel OS. For the processor, we get the Unisoc T603, which a lot of Itel fans are not happy about, but I would like to say budget phones are only meant to be used for basic things like calling, texting, browsing the internet, and checking up on social media. Installing heavy applications or editing apps and other things could test the performance capabilities of this device, and you might not be happy with the results. Budget phones have to be cheap and affordable somehow, and provided you use the phones as intended, you should never run into an issue. The Itel A80 looks like a promising device, but as an expert in this field, you should only buy this device for regular phone usage, as I mentioned earlier, or as a secondary device, which would be perfect. If you're looking to game extensively on this device, keep saving to get an actual gaming device like the Itel RS4, which was launched earlier this year. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button to see more videos from me like this. Ciao guys.